I understand you plan to hit the streets this morning.
Yes, that was the initial plan.
Okay. The initial plan. So which means there's been a change.
Yes, there's a change of plans.
Okay. So tell us about what changes now. What has changed?
Thank you very much. And so yesterday we met with the Greater Accra Regional Police Commander and his personnel at the High Command. We agreed on the final modalities for the demonstration today. But around 9 p.m. yesterday, we received a call from the commander indicating that the approved route for the demonstration may have to be changed because if we use that route, it may be causing public inconvenience and that it is going to pose national security threat. To us, it did not make any sense, and so we were uncompromising. Around 11 p.m. of the same day, that is yesterday, we had another call indicating that they were on campus and that they wanted to meet us. And so we met them at a location called Lodgia on the premises of the University of Ghana campus. The regional commander himself was there. The Director General of Police at the national level, that is operations, was there. The Director General of Police at the national level, administration, was equally there. They again reiterated that we may not be able to use those routes because it was going to cause public inconvenience. And our argument was that if indeed that was the situation, or we using that route was going to cause public inconvenience, I mean, we've been engaging since last week. They could have made it known to us the very first time they gave us the approval letter that though they may provide security or they may approve that we embark on a demonstration, we may have to change our route at the time. We met them at the office yesterday in the afternoon. They could have equally made that known to us. But at the dying moment, around 11 p.m., 12 a.m., you tell us that we cannot use those routes and that if we are uncompromising, they are going to arrest any protester or any convener that is going to make appearance. And so for us as a coalition and as students, we see it as a vile attack and a calculated scheme to, frustrate our demonstration. Now, the point is that we have done mobilization, and any change of plans in that dying moment is going to destabilize our mobilization efforts because they proposed to us to move from Okponglo at our converging point to the Obra spot at around 12 a.m. after we've done our mobilization. And how are we going to do that? I mean, we can't do that within that short, period. And so, even though we want to, drive home our consent for immediate consideration, we do not want to do that without or outside the context of the law. And so we have reached a bitter resolution to postpone our demonstration to Thursday, even though we feel that we've been shortchanged.
So, okay, so it's not called off completely. You are doing it on Thursday. Give us an idea what was the original route that you're going to use.
The original route that we were going to use was from Okponglo, down to the Flagstaff House, where we're supposed to submit a petition to the President. Then we'll move from the Flagstaff House to the Parliament House, where we'll submit another petition to the Speaker of Parliament, and then we'll disband from there. That was supposed to be the original plan of our demonstration.
Okay, so what they have done is to say you can't go. Are they saying you can't go to the is it Jubilee House now? Is that what they're saying? And you can't go to Parliament?
What they are saying is that we cannot begin our protest from Okponglo to the Flagstaff House. So we may have to move from Obra Spot to the Flagstaff House. Now, more of our students or most of our students are on campus currently. I mean, University of Ghana campus. How are we going to be able to mobilize and then move to Obra? I don't know. Are we going to walk from here to Obra Spot and come back, or we are going to be using buses to Obra Spot? And now you can consider the traffic, in town. And so how do they expect us to move from University of Ghana campus to Obra Spot and begin our protest from there. I mean, it makes no sense.
So by the new plan, it will only be for those who perhaps are able to afford the transportation from the places around the universities all the way to Obrasport and then
Yes,
come back. So they are introducing
yes,
a new element of having to transport yourself to
yes. So,
Obrasport before moving.
yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
we are students. We do not have that financial capacity to do mobilization of that level. Deploy buses to convey students from this point to a brass spot and all of that. And if we ask that we go individually, then it means you're going to be disorganized, and the traffic in town must also be considered. And so we don't see any way around this than to postpone to Thursday.
Because when you talk about traffic, I guess that's their biggest concern. That this morning, if you go on that route, typically there's quite a heavy traffic, either moving away or going there at this time. So perhaps you do understand where they are coming from. That this will be a serious disruption and a worsen the traffic situation.
We do not, because they want to use that as a smoke screen to prevent our demonstration. I say this because, like I've already mentioned, we've had several engagements. Our demonstration was originally supposed to happen on Thursday last week, but they also came with the excuse that there is an emergency ECOWAS meeting in Accra, for which reason they may have to prioritize that meeting ahead of ours, and so we have to postpone our demonstration. We postponed to today. We served notice to that effect. We had several meetings and engagements to that effect. Yesterday in the afternoon, we had a regional command to finalize on the modalities for the demonstration. If indeed these are valid concerns, they could have disclosed it to us from the very beginning, so we know how we go around the communication. We've already publicly said that, or we've already publicized that we are going to begin the demonstration from Okongo. Students are expected to converge there, and then we'll move to the fast travel. Now, when you come to meet us on campus around 12 a.m., how do you intend us to continue our demonstration? So we really see or consider this as a calculated attempt to prevent students from demonstrating and holding the feet of government to fire.
So throughout your discussion, this is the route you have always mentioned to them.
Yes.
Only gets...
It is contained in our letters that we address to them.
You said you met them. Okay, so you said the first call came in at what time?
Around 9 p.m. thereabouts.
Okay. You resisted, and then you ended up in a meeting with them at midnight.
Around 11 p.m., 12 a.m. thereabouts.
You said you had Director General Operations, Director General Administration.
Yes, and the
national.
Yes, at the national level.
Oh, they were at the meeting?
Yes, they were at the meeting. So it shows you the desperation. Yes, you see, these are chief public officers of the police service coming down to Legon campus to meet us, to tell us this, and threatening to arrest us should we defy this directive. And in the meeting, I can say for a fact, the IGP himself was calling to see the progress of the meeting if we have compromised.
Oh, the IGP himself, you could read, was interested in what happened.
Yes, very much interested. Was calling from time to time.
Interesting.
The Director General in charge of administration indicated himself that he was deployed by the IGP to come and speak to us.
And you do not see this as an interest in the disruption you may cause, but just perhaps an attempt to make sure your demonstration is not as successful as it was going to be?
Yeah, we see it as a state of disruption. We see it as an attempt to prevent students. We see it as an attempt to frustrate our mobilization, situations and all of that. And it is so disheartening to see.
Give us an idea what responses you are getting on with the student groups that you've been talking to, the individual students you'll be talking to try to get them to be part of this. Was the response positive? Were you going to have a lot of them turning up that today if you had gone ahead?
Yes, there is a high interest. Students are very eager because we have been inconvenienced by the prolonged strike action of UTAC. This heightened tension between the government and UTAC is frustrating students. Our mental stability is at stake, psychological stability is at stake, and even our economic stability is at stake. When it comes to the University of Ghana, a level 100 student has already lost his life because instead of being in the lecture hall, he decided to go and swim in the pool. When you go to KNUST, a level 100 student has lost his life because teaching and learning activities are not happening on campus. And so we are all distraught. We are aggrieved by what is happening. And so you see that frustration, welling up in students, and they are ready to demonstrate to show that they are not, pleased about what is happening. They want to call on the government to demand that it expedite measures to contain the matter and restore teaching and learning activities to the lecture hall. But when we want to do that, then the police or some invincible hand through the police wants to prevent us. And it is disheartening. I mean, it is so sad. But we are not going to renege. We still have the same level of dedication and commitment to this cause. We are going to advocate on behalf of all Ghanaian students that have been affected by this situation. On Thursday, come Thursday, we are going to be joining various CSOs, this group, Okada, and other stakeholders within the society to embark on this demonstration.
So on Thursday, you have to use the route they are approving now. They are proposing.
We have to use the other route.
What means that between now and Thursday, you have to convince the same students who may find moving to Okponglo convenient to now find a way of getting to
Obra Sport.
Wow.
Yes, because even something we have students who have come from KNUST, UHAS, Winneba, UDS, and all of that, and we've hosted them on the University of Ghana campus. So it was very convenient for us to just move from Okponglo down to the Flagstaff House to Parliament, and we are done.
Oh, there's interest from students of other universities.
Yes.
Okay. But okay. So once you try to perhaps deal with the because you have to perhaps make a small adjustment to your mobilization effort now to get people to Obra Sport. But this today, we understand government and lecturers are meeting once again. I'm sure you've heard about the decision of the court asking that there should be an amicable solution found to the problem. The court has given them a specific period of time to do that. From what you're hearing from government and everybody, are you happy? Because I've heard the education minister say we are ready to dialogue, we are ready to negotiate, we are ready to talk. Your lecturers are also saying they are ready to speak. Are you happy, and are you at least hopeful that it will lead to something?
I, for one, I am not hopeful. For the education minister, this matter is beyond him, and so I do not even want to hear any comments coming from him. Now, with regards to the meeting or whatever negotiation is there to have, UTAG, in the letter addressed to the NLC, have said that the government has always seen more. No, not to the, sorry, no, that was not to the NLC. It was made known to the judge in the court. There was a court segment last week. They made it very known that on several occasions when they've tried to negotiate with government, reach a consensus, it has always backed out. It has always been led on its responsibility on the matter. It has always, withdrawn from its commitment. And so I am not hopeful that any fruitful outcome is going to come out of this particular negotiation. Last year, 2nd of August, there was a similar strike action. Government asked that UTAG members come back to the lecture hall while they continue to engage, they continue to negotiate. But what are some of the negotiations? It came to a film, and lecturers have to come, have to go back on strike. For me, I think that we need long-lasting solutions to, this matter. The talking, the negotiations, the back and forth is too much. I am saying that this strike action does not help anyone. It does not help the government. does not help research, and it certainly does not help the Ghanaian students. At the end of the day, it is the Ghanaian student that suffers because we are taking away the contact hours from us. Already we have that assertion or that assessment that our education system only instructs on major inconsequentiality. And now we want to even take away the contact hours. So how are we going to be able to equip students with the requisite, employable skills to compete in the job market? We already have a right situation of unemployment in this country, unemployed graduates. Now we also want unemployable graduates in this country as well, which is very terrible. And so government, instead of the antics, the gimmicks to not exactly cause or to spare the public conversation or a dissatisfaction, should bring tenable solutions to the matter. They should address the concerns of the lecturers. The concerns are A, B, and C. And they must be seen addressing A, B, and C. And not spinning around the issue, speaking and speaking, and only prolonging our troubles and our problems. Because we have a situation where lecturers will come back to the lecture hall, and then in 2 months or 3 months' time, there's another strike action. We don't want that. Gradually, the quality in the education system is eroding. It is fast eroding. And that must be of concern to all of us. Since 2016 or 2017, 44,000 teachers have gone out of the service. 44,000. And that is alarming. It shows that we do not apportion that level of importance to our teachers and our lecturers in this country, which is so appalling. We need a turnaround. We need a change. And so government, we are pleading our students. We are inconvenienced. Students are dying on campuses. That is how risky it has gotten to. We are prone to security threats on campuses. So government must be concerned about that. I have reiterated on several occasions that the government has a social contract with the Ghanaian people, more particularly the Ghanaian students in this situation. And it must protect our interests. And so, if there are going to be any negotiations, government must be informed by this reality and go to the table, show the goodwill, show that it is going to commit effort, some level of effort and seriousness to the plight of the lecturers, and hopefully, ask that they go back to the lecture hall so that we can also acquire some learning.